No, it's not. I can tell which one it was. Water we can get. Oh, sorry, mate. You're wet, aren't you? Probably should have worn your pajamas out here.
How many did you get?
A dozen and a half. 16. 16 rings. Not much.
Well, that's still a good amount.
Normally get 20.
There'll be more today.
What is that? It's a snail. Slug, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Good job, boys.
Thank you.
The boys are milking for me so that I can stay in the garden. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to our little, I kind of feel like sometimes I shouldn't call it a farm because it's not a working farm, but it is a little plot of land where we are living and growing food and enjoying the beauty all around us. Today, I'm super excited to have some rows ready because I have a bunch of spuds to plant. And I've been waiting on this, getting this garden done. This is the first time we've put a garden out here. Last year was our first time gardening here. And I really stuck to garden beds in the backyard for the main part last year, which you would have seen if you were around. And I do have one row of potatoes in on the far side over here, which is where I grew potatoes last year. And I wanted more this year. So you can see them growing along that fence line there. So they've all come up and I thought, well, I'll kind of try to succession sow a little. So I'm wanting to get this row, now that we've got this started. So there's really only 2 rows done, but I only am going to do one of them in potatoes, and the other rows will finish this week for tomatoes and other things. So my wonderful children are helping so that I can get in the garden early today, so helping with the other chores. So 2 are milking, a couple are inside doing breakfast, and I am out in the early, beautiful spring morning. So let's get planting. Just before I get started planting these potatoes, I want to show you something because I am so excited about this garden. This soil is just so rich and beautiful, and really is the result of a lot of waiting, because for those of you who've been around since the beginning, you will know this, but last spring I was going to put a garden here, and the winter before we had put a bunch of wood chips down and put the chickens in over winter, but I had put the wood chips so thick that during the winter wasn't long enough for them to break down. So we decided to not do a garden here last spring because there was still too much carbon, too much wood chips, and it would leach nitrogen from the soil and it probably wouldn't have gone very well. So I left it that whole time, and we overwintered the chickens here again last winter. We've just moved them in the last couple of weeks. And what that means is that it's had multiple seasons of the chickens on here and the wood chips breaking down. And this was just clay. It was so sticky and heavy, and now there's still some bits in there that aren't broken down, but you can see how rich that is. It's just so beautiful. I am so excited to get food in the ground and see what happens with this soil. You know, our with our bodies and our health, it's said that the life is in the blood. Well, for plants, the life is in the soil. And if you can build and invest into rich soil like you are, it makes all the difference. And you can have, like, the seeds will just, they want to grow. And I'm just so excited to get seeds in the ground, whether it's potatoes or tomatoes or whatever it is. I'm excited for tomatoes. I've grown tomatoes many times, but I've usually haven't had a lot of space. So I've just grown a few here and there. And last season my tomatoes did not do well at all. I have been reading up and researching and watching a lot of videos, especially all of Jess from Roots and Refuge, all of her tomato tutorial videos. So I am really excited to try again, and I'm hoping for a lot more success this year. I know the soil is ready, so hopefully I'll get the other factors right and we'll have a good harvest. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you my excitement about the soil. It's beautiful. So I have this massive bag of potatoes. It's like a 50-pound bag, and we've already used some of them, but there's heaps left and they're all sprouting. So I don't know, there might be too many for this row. We'll see how we go, but I'm just gonna cut and plant as I go, is my plan. I'm not going to be too fussy. Usually I get every little sprout, but I may actually just go along and place them, and then I'll come back and plant them. Well, that was hard on my ankles, but we got it done. Yay! And my quads, up and down, up and down. I'm a bit puffed, but isn't that satisfying? One of the things I love about gardening is that you can do something that's hard and time consuming and laborious and makes you push through. But when you look back, it's so satisfying. It'll be even more satisfying when I get the wood chips on, and then when they start to sprout. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain at the end of the week, I think. So I really want to get a bunch done in the next few days so that we can take advantage of that rain. So I'm going to take a breather, and then I'm going to do wood chips on top. An inch or two over the top of wood chips. These wood chips have been sitting here for over a year now, and they're really breaking down. So they're still useful as a mulch, but the beautiful thing is we go underneath and we're pretty soon it'll just be compost, beautiful rich compost. So I'm still using it as a mulch. There's, you know, it's still quite woody really, but it feels like a bank account. It's just sitting there growing richer and richer. Well, I just took a little break. One of my boys made me breakfast, have a cup of tea, and I'm about ready to go at it again. Just needed a little refueling. I'm seeing lots of birds, and there's a lot of mockingbirds around. And a few blue jays, which I don't always see them, so I really love to see them. They seem to not settle in close around the house as much as some of the other birds. Like the red cardinals are everywhere. There's little wrens everywhere. But, and the mockingbirds, I think the mockingbirds have made a nest in that citrus rootstock at the front of the house. But I've noticed a few blue jays, which is really fun. So they must be nesting close, but I'm not sure where their nest is. I can feel drops. Rain was not in the forecast, but the kids came out this morning. Gracie said to me, "Mummy, is there a big storm coming? Because it kind of feels like it." And I think she was right. And I'm like, but the weather just goes to show you. You cannot always trust the weather app. And then we heard a roll of thunder before and we're like, was that thunder or was that a car? What was that? But it is definitely drip dropping, which means I need to get my skates on and get the rest of that mulch on those potatoes. Okay. I guess I'm waiting. The eaves are dripping. There's just a little bit too much rain, but I did check the radar and it looks like it's just going to be pretty brief. I don't think it's going to be much in it. I don't think there is going to be much in it. So I might just pop into the mud room, check on my seedlings, maybe fertilize them because I've been meaning to do that. And by then I think this shower will pass. Oh man, I wish you could smell that. One of my favorite smells on the planet is fresh rain hitting the warm earth when it hasn't had rain for a bit. Like, I mean, we've had plenty of rain this spring, but it's been a week and a half or something and it's dried out a bit. I just love that smell. So good. It's just full of promise and it's gorgeous. Okay, I was just checking. This is the one I used last. I think I used this in the fall last, and I was a bit worried because I really like it. It's a very good product, but the one thing when you're not going to use the whole thing in a short amount of time, sometimes it kind of hardens and forms into a big clump, and then you can't rehydrate it, you can't use it, but it still feels loose. I did last time, so it comes with this little scoop, and I made sure I tried to do a rubber band kind of tight, and maybe that has helped because it's still nice and loose. So I'm just going to mix it up in this old bottle and put it in a watering can. So it says just to use 1 level scoop of this in a gallon of water. So that is what I will do. I love the sound of rain on a tin roof. This this mudroom is sort of like an add-on to the house, and it has a tin roof. The rest of the house has what do you call them? Like tiles, I guess. And it doesn't sound anywhere near as pretty as this is going to require 2 hands. But yes, I do love rain on a tin roof. Was it Slim Dusty wrote a song about that? Someone. Slim Dusty is a famous Australian country singer. An old country singer. He's no longer in the land of the living. That's how old. And I'm pretty sure he wrote a song about rain on a tin roof. One of the best sounds, especially when you come from a land where there is not a whole lot of rain. All right, the sun's higher in the sky, you can see. We have finished mulching, so that the potatoes are all planted and we've mulched it.
Should we get worm-juice on it?
Well, that would be very good for it, but I think I'm not going to worry about that today because we do have, Ty's been helping me, and we've got a mulch. So we spent a lot of time weeding along here a few days ago, and we really need to put a thick layer of mulch down or we're going to be back to square one and those weeds will just come back. Yeah, I think I couldn't get that with my hands.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need a garden fork or something to
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
to pull out that dock.
It's sticky.
Yeah, so it got a sap. And look, I just noticed the yarrow is getting ready to flower, so shoot up and flower, so that's exciting.
What is yarrow?
It's a medicinal herb, so it's really good for you. You can use it in tinctures, teas, yeah, there's lots of things you can do with it. The banana pups are growing.
Well, that's good.
And so Ty has started mulching here where we had, and I've been weeding again all through here, weeding more here. Zion is watering. He's doing a good job watering. And I watered the potatoes. So these are the ones that we planted a little while ago. So they've all come up. Doing more weeding along here. And getting ready to mulch that as well. Pardon? We probably need to turn that again actually. That's compost. But I don't know if we'll get to that today. We've got a lot to finish in here. But we do need to turn it. Alrighty. Okay. We are tired and we are hot now, aren't we? Yeah. But it was good because we've got it done. We're going to go inside. So we got this row weeded and mulched, and down here we did lots of trips with mulch. So all of this garden bed is done, and all along here and this fence line all the way along to the gate. And the potatoes are in and they're mulched. So we are going to go and take a well-earned little rest. And I'm probably going to go edit a video. That's what I'm going to do with my heat of the day. And this chap can get something cool to drink and rest. All right, friends, we will see you again tomorrow and hopefully get more gardens in.
Hopefully finish this.
Yeah, hopefully finish this. We've got a few more rows to do out in the, I don't know, what are we going to call that? The row garden? The chicken garden? Because that's where we had the chickens. The chook garden?
The chook garden.
Only we don't want to give them any ideas. They're not allowed in there.
Definitely not work too hard.
Yes, we have. Any chooks that go in that garden will be up for a fight. Yes. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, friends. We'll be back again with more of our spring garden and more homesteading tomorrow. Sunshine and raindrops. We'll see you soon.